Okay, on to see. It's Wyrm versus Eli. This is, what you want to call it, round 2.5. It's the round of 16 qualifier. So 5 places left in the round of 16, basically, and nine players competing for those five. Each player plays four others, and 1 point per win. 5 players with the most points will go through. So, Wyrm as the Protoss on the left of Data C, and Eli also Protoss over on the right. So openings look in pretty. There's quite a lit pylon. Why is this so lit? I'm not really sure. What? Yeah, have I missed something? Has he got a second pylon somewhere? No. Seems pretty lit. Anyway, it's a double gateway opener for Eli, and that's fine. And the side core is coming down. The gas is saturated. The minerals are saturated, so we'll be expecting a Nexus pretty soon. He's going to go ahead and get Zealot out. Generally against another Protoss. I skip the Zealot. Maybe start building it and scout, and then you can always cancel it to get your gateway done. But actually both players putting a Zealot out front. So, handy, I suppose, for chasing away a scout or whatever. But normally a Stalker is just a much more useful beast altogether. Eli looking to expand by the looks of things, and interestingly, Wyrms expand much faster, despite having the much later sort of gateway and such, but he is on single gateway. So Eli is going to throw down a Twilight. There is double gas here as well. So this Twilight, I mean, timings of it and such, and the slightly later second gas, I wouldn't have thought this is for DT tech. I would have thought this is just for either Blink or Charge tech. Yeah, and there we go, Charge being researched. So everything looking pretty good. There is a Stargate here for Wyrm, but as yet, just as I am about to say it, the Oracle starts building. So pretty lit, to be honest. It's a slightly later Oracle. This is a pretty quick third, though. And yeah, this the fact that this is half done and that the natural was up that bit sooner. Eli, not yet saturated in his natural, and actually only building workers out of one Nexus. So he's quite far behind economically, and once you can see that Wyrm is continuing to build workers and is rallying them directly to this mineral line. So when this finishes up, we're definitely going to see a big spike really in income. Sorry, I was distracted, didn't really see the Oracle coming in. Let's see how much work it gets done. So it's a pretty slow reaction from Eli, and in fact there's no reaction from Eli. Well, I say no reaction, he sent the Stalkers and they do kill it, but my goodness, you've got to pull the workers, guys. I've said this before. Oracle or something like that comes into your base and is killing your workers. Run the workers away. Don't just send your Stalkers. By the time the Stalkers have got there, look. 16 workers lost. That's not good. That's not good at all. And he was already behind. So, yeah, he's dead. It's as simple as that. The chances of finding your way back into again when you have half as many workers, not even half as many workers as your opponent. I mean, the army supplies are not radically different right now, but they will become radically different pretty soon. Wyrm sending across the hallucinated Phoenix. I like that a great deal. It's a great way to scout. On this side of the map, some Stalkers, some Zealots and a Sentry. So not much meat in that army, whereas over here there is an Immortal and 2 Archons. So while Wyrm does have the army supply advantage, this is a higher tech army and packs a bigger punch. But with that said, he's just, the income that he's got is so far behind that there's no way he's going to be able to keep up with the rate of production from Wyrm. Let's have a look at the upgrades while we're at it. Actually, these, there's a double forge here, but he hasn't, again, just as I said, he starts double upgrades. So what you would expect really, if you're in Wyrm's position, is as soon as 1-1 finishes, you march across the map and you kill your opponent. Another Scot comes in. You know, these Archons will, they can be trouble. Eli, I'd love to see, he is still producing workers, but it shouldn't have taken them this long just to get up to 36 workers. I feel like there's definitely been an interruption in worker production. You know, right now, for example, he isn't building any. This is going to be a one-sided fight. You would feel that, you know, the Archons, the double immortal, that stuff, and with Zealot Charge done as well, that is stuff that is actually pretty good against this Stalker composition. And all of Wyrm's Zealots are stuck at the back. There is, however, a shield battery healing stuff up, and of course the carriers are just confusing everything. So an awful lot of shots being wasted on trying to kill interceptors. So Eli's army does successfully clean up most of the ground army for Wyrm, but the interceptors, really, you needed to do an awful lot of focus firing there to try and either gun down the carriers or ignore them and make sure you kill the whole of the ground army. So it's a bit of an army reset for Eli, and you know, at 13, there still isn't saturation here. There's no workers in production. He just doesn't have the income to put together an army to deal with this. So Wyrm is going to march in, and you would think this will be GG pretty quickly. They're just, you know, other than these two Archons, there's a single immortal, and that's going to be it. Yeah, the warp-in round is never going to finish. It was a pretty ambitious location to warp in. There's no shield batteries here, so yeah, nothing really to see this off, and that is GG.